And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Three Wishes. Now I don't have the final copy with me. This is basically an alpha prototype of the game. It's pretty much finished at this point. The game itself is finished. I don't have packaging. This is a micro-style game in which you have been granted 3 wishes. You need to ask for the best wishes because only one person is going to get their wishes granted. And of course, you have to wish for something for everyone like world peace, but that's not going to stop me from being able to teleport too for maybe one of my wishes, right? In this game, you're trying to manipulate cards around the board. Let me show you. Now in this game, players are trying to get 3 wishes, but only one player's 3 wishes are going to be granted. Each person is wishing for some sort of superpower like telekinesis or flight or immortality. They're also going to be asking for something cool like a talking dog, a cornucopia, a spaceship, and then something that will help the world out in general like cold fusion, universal Q, teleportation grid, or of course, world peace. Each of these is a different color to help differentiate them, and they're numbered differently. You can see 1, 2, 2, 2, 3 times 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3 times 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4. All these cards are going to be shuffled up, and the game begins. Now, the game plays up to 5 players, and some cards you'll take out unless you're playing a 4 or 5 player game. Otherwise, let's say we're using all the cards in a 5 player game. You'll take 1 card out of the top, and then you're going to put some cards in the middle of the table, 2 cards in the middle of the table. Then each person is going to get 3 cards placed in front of themselves. Now, of these 3 cards in front of yourselves, you're allowed to look at one of them. So once you're done looking at that one that you look at, everyone is going to get going and start the game. And on your turn, you have 2 different actions that you can do. You can basically peek. You can look at anyone's card. You can look at one of your own cards. Ooh, that's a 2 pink. You can look at one of the cards in the middle, or you can look at a card in front of another player. You can also swap 2 cards. I might swap this one and this one. You can swap a card with somebody else. You can shuffle your own cards. So you'll take your own cards, you'll shuffle them up like this, put them back up, and then you can look at one of them again. And then finally, you can declare the end of the game as one of your actions, but you can only do that if it's the 4th round of Player Beyond. So let's say I declare the end of the game. At that point, everyone reveals their cards. Now, you can only win if you have 1 of each type of wish, which you can see I don't. But let's say I did here. Then my score is going to simply be the sum of those cards. So 1, 2, and 4, that's going to make a 7. If you have a times 2 multiplier, then you will double your cards. If you have both times 2 multipliers, then you'll win the game. And if you have the 0, it doesn't matter what else you have, you automatically lose. So once everyone has added up their points, if someone has both doubles, they win the game. Otherwise, whoever has the highest number of points is the winner of the game. And if there's basically a tie to that, then whoever is the person who declared the end of the game or the person closest to the person who declared the end of the game wins. So you're trying to get 3 different wishes and the highest total between them. Okay, maybe you're not manipulating cards around the board, you're manipulating them around the table though. And I found this game is really intriguing, and I've tried it with 3, 4, and 5 players, and just each time, the first time was kind of like, well, how does this work? And you're kind of feeling it out. But after a while, just kind of you're watching cards move around the table. I go into micro games kind of with a very skeptical air. I really do. It's like, ooh, look at this game, 12, 15 cards, whatever it is. And you're like, yeah, whatever, okay. It's probably going to be an okay game, and most of them are only okay games. Love Letter is certainly the most popular, but 3 Wishes for me actually surpasses Love Letter. There's just something about it. There's a little bit of memory involved as you try to remember, okay, I got a blue one there, a pink one there, a yellow one there, and you will certainly memorize where that 0 is and watching it go around. But the order you take your actions is kind of interesting. Switch cards with someone else, then shuffle your own so they don't know where the card you just switched with them is. Of course, neither do you, or maybe you do. You're going to have to look at one of them, and then you got to keep kind of a straight face so the other person isn't quite sure. You have that doubling one. You don't want anyone else taking that, and you want to try to get the other doubling one. When do you call the end of the game?
Now, if there's any complaints, it might be that I wish there was a better way to keep track of once you've played 4 rounds, you can call the end of the game. Because there were a few times where did we go around 3 times or 4 times? And have to go back and think it through. But that's a minor quibble. The artwork is amazing. It's a new artist, and she did a fantastic job. I'd like to see more of her artwork in future games. The theme is fun. Hey, I got these 3 wishes. But it's just this interplay between the different players as you're trying to memorize where everything goes and play back and forth. And it's pretty simple. You only have, there's 4 actions, but since the 4th one's ending the game, you have 3 actions, but looking at cards, switching cards, it takes elements from other games like Good Cop, Bad Cop, puts them together in a good little package. Highly recommend it from me. 3 wishes. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.